Hey guys, so this one here is a little bit of a touchy subject. So we're gonna be doing a reaction video on from a channel called Daily Dose of Wisdom. Uh, Apparently, he actually went undercover as he was trying to expose Islam. Listen, I don't know. I'll let you guys watch this, and then we can kind of go from there. But yeah, some scary stuff.
This is actually Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam what do with Aisha.
Hey, and shout out to Daily Wisdom for putting this together.
He saved her, and he married her when she was 6 years old, and he lived with her. When she reached the 9 years old.
And then he had sex with her at that point.
After that,
When she ready?
yeah.
When she ready,
She menstruated at 9 and then he had sex.
when she ready, and they know that she is ready, they have the physical relation.
The clip you're about to watch is a conversation between me and a few Muslim Imams in the Muslim quarter of Israel. This took place a couple months ago. During the course of this conversation, I end up getting these guys to admit that Islam does in fact teach pedophilia and polygamy. They kind of wiggle around at a few different points. There's some theological gymnastics that take place, but in the end, they do end up coming out with that reality and even admit it in the life of Muhammad himself. So we're going to dig into this. One other preface, I'm not doing this with a intention of harming any individual people. I'm simply wanting to expose the ideology of Islam. The worldview itself is what I think is negative. I don't have any hatred toward individual people. I don't think the Muslims are bad people. I think that the ideology itself is toxic to the core, and that is what I'm looking to expose, because I see the people within Islam as victims of Islam. That being said, let's go ahead and dive in. But I just wanted to be honest that it's the issues around sex and marriage and women, specifically the kind of the polygamy and the what I would call pedophilia, that is the hardest piece for me to reckon with within the Quran. Those are the passages that they're hard.
Okay.
They're hard for me.
Your mind and my mind is limited. The Quran is not limited. Okay, you don't accept it because you don't want to accept it. But there is some things in the Quran you take it as Allah give it to you. The verse that you ask us to explain it for you, it's also the same stops. That's the woman that they finished the period before 40, 50 years, or the woman that's under, they didn't start the period. If you have the contract of marriage between you and them, if you left them, they need to wait also the 3 months. This is the answer of it. So the answer, you can get married with someone that did start the period, yes, but you can't enter with her. Enter, yani, have sexual relation. This is easy to understand or to explain it. What I want to tell you about.
So that's basically justifying the fact that you can marry a 3-year-old. You don't need to have, intercourse with her until she's older, but you can legally marry a 3-year-old. That's pretty sick.
You living now in 2022, so not everything accepted to you was before 1,000 years or before 2,000 years. Maybe you don't accept what happened before that, but this is don't mean that what you see wrong is wrong. No. If it's accepted for the people who was living at that time, then mean it's accepted.
Listen, I hear that argument again. Well, not again. I hear that argument a lot, where basically saying, "Hey, listen, it was accepted 2,000 years ago, or whatever the case is." But when it comes to Jesus, we can implement literally everything he did back then to now. Why? Because he never sinned. We can do whatever he did back then. We can implement it now and not feel any type of guilt. This right here, you can't implement that today. Why? Why can't you? Because we know it's wrong. That's why we know it's wrong. So if we couldn't implement it today, why is it okay to allow it to happen and to justify just because it happened, so long ago? So yeah, it's not right, man. It's not right.
But I thought that these were still practiced today. Isn't it okay to
Oh,
have
still.
multiple wives today, or no?
Again, yes, yes,
Yes.
and not accepted. It's needed. It's needed. It's needed in USA more. It's needed in Islamic country for the men to marry for. You see, we don't say that it's not. It's accepted and it's needed to solve the problem that you have in your society. Because it's accepted for you to be married and have fair relation with 3 women. You're doing that. But when it's coming to married, you say no, I can't get married. For us, we can't cheat, but we allow to marry. This is the difference.
This is why people love or gravitate towards this religion. It's because it allows them to commit sin and be able to justify it legally.
When you accept to have a girlfriend, you can go and say, okay, I'm married one, but I have 3 girlfriends, like a lot of young, beautiful men like you in USA doing. But for us, we can't do that. We only get the relation through marriage. This is the answer. The age answer, it's depend on the society, it's depend in the situation, depend on the period that we are living on. Because what accepted now is not accepted before 2000 years.
But it
You
does
know?
still happen today, right? Like it's permissible for a
The same
10-year-old.
situation, no. The same situation. You need 2 approvement. Approve from the city, the government that you live on. And most of the government now, they say it's 16 or it says it's 18. And now they try to make it 21. So you go to the court, you want to get married, they tell you, no, you don't need to wait because this is okay. And the other thing,
the legal is almost standing in the way of the Quran in a little bit.
yes, and another way, which is more important for me, yes, it's the doctors. The woman, the girl in age 10 years old now, physically, it's not the same of the 10 years old before 1,000 years. You see? You can go and there is many of your queens or the queens of Europe married in 10 years old. You see? You can Google it and find it. It's easy, simple. We have.
Isn't puberty happening earlier and earlier nowadays? Like, aren't
You need to ask
or
the
no?
doctor. You need to ask the
At
doctors
least in
about
America, I know it is. People.
So what you're telling me is that if puberty does take effect earlier now, and that could come across many different things just because of the food that we're intaking, the habits that we're building, and us growing as a society in humankind. Let's just say that puberty does come in earlier. Where do we draw the line, right? Where do we draw the line? Because apparently back then it was 10, and now let's just say that puberty comes in earlier, and let's say it comes in at 5 years old. Just because the doctors say that's okay for you to do, you do it. That's your justification. That is insane.
in America are getting
yes.
their
Scandinavian countries,
Yeah.
she is 20 years and she didn't get her period. You see?
But in America, there's some 10-year-olds that are getting their
You
periods.
see? But in Scandinavian, they are 20 years and they don't have the period. So she can't get married.
God say in the Quran, وَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. We should ask those for special, for example, something about health, you should ask doctor. And after that question of the doctor, the scholar of the Islam is answering what the doctor is answering him about it. The Islamic scholar is building on the answer of the doctor. And the Islam is coming to save the health. Okay, it's against, it's not acceptable for Muslims anything that touching your health, like smoking, like drunk alcohol, drugs, all things. Also sexual things that touching the health, it's forbidden in Islam. It can't be acceptable.
So
Okay?
the first important thing to protect is the health of the human. This is in Islam. So if the marriage affect the girl in her health,
What about the mental health? I don't see anybody trying to protect that. Do you think a little girl wants to be with a 50, 60-year-old man living with them? Probably not, especially if they're around playing with dolls, man.
this is what the doctor says. You need to wait. If he tell you need to wait after the 20 years old, you need to wait. You see?
This is actually Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم what do with Aisha. He saved her, and he married her when she was 6 years old, and he lived with her. When she reached the 9 years old.
Then he had sex with her
After that,
When she ready.
yeah.
When she ready,
She menstruated at 9 and then he had sex.
when she ready, and they know that she is ready, they have the physical relation.
May I ask a question? Why do you consider that as pedophilia?
And again, guys, I don't know if you guys saw, based on the captions that were cut off here, it's that was at 9 years old. That's what they considered her to be ready. 9 years old.
I think that a 9-year-old is still a child, so I consider having sex with a 9-year-old to be pedophilia.
But it has already passed that stage. It's not. She became an adult. She finished a stage and entered a new stage.
She became an adult at 9 years old. She became an adult at 9 years old. Let's just think about that real quick. This is literally what they think, that she became an adult at 9 years old, and it's okay to proceed as if she was an adult at 9 years old, guys. It's not me saying it. It's not me saying it. That's them. That's what they believe in. Nothing against Muslims. I'm 100% against Islam. Let's continue.
With it is considered as an adult. She's physically grown. She has the ability to bear. Like if she gets married, she can get pregnant. If she has a child, she can breastfeed him. So she passed the.
I think that there's more to
stage.
adulthood than just menstruating.
All right, guys. What do you guys think? Listen, man. You know what? I don't even have any finishing statements to that. I mean, that was pretty clear. You guys saw them pretty much dig their own grave. And you guys saw them comment on what they still believe. Not even 2,000 years ago. This is what they still believe right now. You're telling me right now they believe that if a girl, has her cycle at 10 years old, she's not considered an adult. And it's okay for them to proceed what they actually want to do, which is have sex with minors, man. Yeah, I'm done with this video. Shout out to Daily Dose of Wisdom for putting himself out there as far as exposing what it is. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, subscribe if you like the content. And I guess I'll catch you guys in the next one.